Welcome to episode 469 of Salcedo Paranormal, and tonight I'm covering paranormal news. As always, you can find all episodes of the show along with links to social media and other ways to contact me at the podcast page, and that is salcedoparanormal.podbean.com. That's SALSIDO paranormal.podbean.com. Always happy to hear from you all, whether you have comments or questions or topic suggestions, or stories of paranormal experiences, whether they're your own or from others you trust. Happy to either read those or have you join me on the show to talk about them. Thank you all for listening, whether you are here for the live streams on Discord, or if you listen on the podcast or YouTube feeds, or on the Troubled Minds Radio Network, KUAP Digital Broadcasting. There you can hear replays of 2 episodes of the show every night at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, right before Troubled Minds Radio comes on. I always want to thank Michael Strange, host of Troubled Minds Radio, as well as Liam Martin, host of the Exile Minds podcast, for producing the show and putting it up on the station. If you'd like to support the show, there are some different ways to do that. You can always share it with others, and rate and review it on your podcast platform of choice. I've also written some paranormal fiction and nonfiction books you can check out on Amazon. If you would like more content, I have a Patreon page for that. You can sign up to any of the membership tiers and get that content. That is going to be always at least 1 episode per month, and weekly whenever I can arrange it. Just depends on life in general and when I can get the material together. But I'm hoping to start putting more up there soon, besides just the 1 episode per month. And those will always be true paranormal stories from the web as well. Or you can also make one-time donations through PayPal and Venmo. And help is never expected, but always appreciated, as there are expenses in doing this show, from equipment to research materials to basically travel expenses as the show gets bigger, and I try to get the word out about it to more and more people. I will be going to the Mid-Michigan Paracon this year. That is November 4th and 5th. That's a Saturday and Sunday. And it is at the Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. And looking forward to talking with everyone there. Just going around and listening to things and making recordings of myself and anyone else who wants to be recorded, talking about the paranormal in general and or experiences as well. And then I'll bring those recordings back and share them with everyone on the show. So speaking of that, I found an article here, and this is the one we're going to start with. I forgot to put all the links in the Discord, but I will do that after the show. So links will be in the Discord after this is done. But in the news, the articles that I have to share tonight, the first one is about this convention, this paranormal convention that I'm going to. It's really exciting to see that sort of mentioned somewhere else other than in my own show. And this article is from, let me see here, ourmidland.com. And it just talks about the convention in general, just all the different, the fact that it's basically going to be a 2-day thing. Really a lot of what I've already talked about, but they talk a little bit about the convention over the last couple of years. I'm not going to really go into it because I already kind of talk a lot about it in the intro to the show every day. But I just thought it was really neat to see the same thing I'm going to mention somewhere else, and so I will include that article link in the episode description, along with all the other links, and I'll put those in the Discord as well. So that's the first article, and I'll get on with the rest of these now because these are more of what I wanted to talk about. Just wanted to mention that first one because of that connection and of actually going to this event. So really excited for that. This next article is from newsandstar.co.uk. The title reads, Ghost Hunter Visits Dock Where Titanic Was Built in Belfast, Ireland. So, this is about a paranormal investigator named Lewis, who runs a YouTube channel called Paranormal Origins, and he recently and he's going to be featuring his material on TV as well. But he visited this dock where the Titanic was fitted out before it went on its maiden voyage in 1912. And of course, and unfortunately, when it comes to these boats, I can only imagine what it must take to make these boats and to get them all ready. The article mentions that, of course, just like I'm guessing in construction, and the further back you go, people did pass away during the construction of this build, or of this boat, due to accidents here and there. And mentions that Lewis felt the atmosphere was eerie and calm at the bottom of the dry dock, but he also heard sounds of metal as if people were still working there. So he used some motion sensors and voice recorders and asking direct questions, and he thinks he made contact with one of the workers, the former workers that was there. Basically, the spirit of a worker. And the spirit seemed to interact by lighting devices and making sounds. So, and I wonder about that with, if it's not being used anymore, I wonder if the metal sounds can be explained away or not. I would guess if he's investigating it and if he's saying that they seemed odd to him, then maybe they can't easily be explained away. But, so there's not a ton more to the article, but it's just a interesting thing I had never really heard of before, is that even the dock where the Titanic was put together and finished seems to have paranormal activity around it, which of course you can find if you go online and look for basically stories about the various artifacts from the Titanic. You can find some stories of paranormal activity surrounding a lot of that as well. So, yeah, I might have to do a show on that at some point. I don't think I have yet, but it is a thing that I've heard about on different paranormal podcasts about activity surrounding the various items in different locations too, not even just the same one, of objects that were recovered from the Titanic. So I think that is a thing, and I think I may have to do a show on that at some point. So I think that might be worth doing. So that's the other article there, and I think I'll move on to the next one. And I apologize for forgetting to put the links in the Discord, but I will get them in there after I'm done recording here. So moving on to the next article here. This one is from let me see, CPR.org, and the title of this is "Strange Lights in the Sky, Reported by Pilots Around Eastern Colorado on Thursday." And apparently, this was like within the last week or so. And there apparently were multiple pilots flying over eastern Colorado on different flight paths reported seeing strange lights around 11 p.m. on a Thursday night. And the lights were described as bright white with a greenish tint, moving from left to right and disappearing. They were seen near the Big Dipper constellation. And the pilots confirmed the sightings to air traffic controllers, who then alerted other pilots that they had received 5 reports of the same thing. So the lights apparently did not disrupt air travel. One pilot speculated they could be related to SpaceX Starlink satellites, though this is not confirmed at this time of this article here. Officials haven't, apparently as of this article, haven't said anything yet about that. So it's just basically what we have right now is reports of these lights. So I wonder, I always wonder with that when it comes to the officials not saying much. Are they still looking into it, or do they have an answer and it's not one they want to give out? There's always questions that come to mind when that happens. And of course, I don't really know for sure. I really don't like to assume that there's going to be one answer over another. So who knows? Maybe we'll see as in future articles. So going to the next article here. This is from belfastlive.co.uk. And the title of this article reads, Northern Ireland Castle named one of Ireland's most haunted wedding venues. And this is regarding Carrickfergus Castle in Northern Ireland. I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong. The location was researched by I'm not sure if this is a website. I'm guessing it is Spin Genie. It's identified as the most popular haunted wedding venue, or one of the most haunted wedding venues in Ireland and Northern Ireland. This castle ranked 5th overall, based on various online metrics. And so let me see here. This castle dates back to the 12th century. That's going back a lot further. It's known for its dramatic architecture and ghostly ambience, and it has a long history of paranormal activity. Couples that have that want a gothic or creepy vibe for their weddings are drawn to this locations like this, especially around Halloween, of course. And let's see here. So this is mentioned that the article mentions that it's for more of an adventurous couple or people that want to have something like this, event like that in this kind of location. I see here. So it mentions the creepy setting and paranormal activity seem to be part of the appeal. And this is going along with sort of the whole idea of haunted Airbnb, just the paranormal sort of being rolled into tourism and hospitality in general. So mentions that there are other locations that are also known for their haunted nature. Haunted reputations include manor houses and other regular hotels that are across Ireland, but this one is different because it's a castle, and I'd be curious to check out a place like that in a way. Just not so much for an event, but just walk around a little bit and just sort of camp out in one of the rooms at night and see what happens. But anyway, this next article here is from HudsonValleyCountry.com. Title reads, The Haunted History of New York's Shanley Hotel. Now, that's SH, not ST. We're not talking about the Stanley Hotel in Colorado. And this was originally built in 1845. It's had different names over the years before James Shanley bought it in 1906. In 1910, James Shanley married Beatrice Rowley, who tragically lost their children over the next few years, as unfortunately would happen due to various illnesses. But guests have reported experiences like seeing Beatrice, the ghost of Beatrice, basically, smelling her perfume and hearing a little girl thought to be the spirit of a barber's daughter who passed away after falling down on the property. So other alleged ghosts include James Shanley himself, a Prohibition-era bootlegger named John Powers, who stored liquor there, and that's, of course, Prohibition is the banning of any kind of consumption of alcoholic beverages, and a young boy as well. So the apparently there have been many accounts there of hauntings, and it's become a famous location in the Hudson Valley, and a draw for investigators and enthusiasts of that topic. So let's see here. Looking at what else is going on here. I think that's it for that one. Let me see what I have left here. So I have one more article left here. I'm going through these a little bit faster than I thought I would. But, so let me see. Let me check on everything in the chat. So, but yeah, going back to that first article about the convention and just talking about that in general, I am really looking forward to that. I've never been to one before, and I'm really excited to see what it's like, and I really do want to go there from now on every year when they have it, as long as it stays in that general area. But I'll go over this last article here, and then we'll see how much time we have left, and go from there. So, let me get back to the document here. So this last article here is from, I guess it's a radio station, KISS, which is the station, and then ElPaso.com. The title reads, El Paso nonprofit wants to renovate and redevelop historic and haunted La Hacienda restaurant. So this is, apparently it was closed for nearly 20 years. This 4-acre property will be transformed into a multi-use venue called Ibarra House by a local nonprofit organization. The planned space includes a cafe, events and meeting rooms, and a courtyard, and short-term guest apartments, with the goal of creating a borderland center. It was built in 1849, and it served different purposes as a private home, a stagecoach stop, brothel, and public restaurant. And that went on from 1940 up until, I'm guessing, around 2000. So, and while the restaurant was open, staff reported paranormal activities such as objects that moved on their own, and disembodied voices and footsteps. So that's odd as well. So in 2009, there was an overnight investigation that caught voices, EVPs basically, electronic voice phenomenon. And what they caught, though, it wasn't just voices. Apparently it was the sounds of horse walking around, like hoofbeats. So that's odd. There's also other reports of activity there, just voices, and so the renovations to revive the location will be costly at an estimated 12 to 15 million, and the timeline depends on fundraising. So, so it sounds like I wonder what will happen. I always wonder about that when places are closed for a while. I wonder, and then they're renovated. That is something that pops up a lot in paranormal. Renovations can cause things to happen, and it can be good, bad, and different. Just it seems to stir up energy in general. So this is I'll be curious to see if anything else happens and shows up in the news once this renovation and redevelopment is finished. So may have to do a show on that whole trend as well, or that whole pattern that has happened. I've seen before in all kinds of shows and podcasts and read about and all kinds of things. So they it seems like there may be activity before there's renovations, and it can be, or in some cases there isn't any activity. But then, no matter what, it seems like things get more active when a place is changed. And sometimes it seems like whoever or whatever is there likes the changes, and other times maybe not so much. Other times I think if there was no activity, I wonder if sometimes there is. That's something I just thought of. I wonder if the spirits that are in locations, when in cases where it is a spirit of some kind, can they be dormant and or maybe even asleep in their own way, and then have, when things are changed in a building, which I would guess would change the energy of a building as well, in an area, can that wake them up? And is that why, in so many cases, activity starts up? And even in other cases where it seems almost like the activity is taken as being negative, whether it is or isn't. But then once people, I've heard this before as well, people will start talking to whatever they sense there, or whoever they sense there, and explaining, we're doing this to bring this place back to what it was or to make it better. Sometimes the activity will calm down, or at least get to be where it's not directed at anyone. So, a lot of variables there, but that just the fact that things do happen, or can pick up, activity can pick up more when places are renovated and changed, or anything like that. That is something that does seem to happen a lot. So, and I always wonder too, when it comes to buildings that are torn down and then new ones are put back up again. It seems like that would also cause activity, but it's hard to track all that unless you're there, I would guess. So, but anyway, that's all the articles I have for today. I just will take this last couple minutes to thank you all for listening, as always. Also, please check out the Trouble Minds Radio Network, KUAP Digital Broadcasting. If you listen throughout the day, you'll hear all the different shows that are on the station. They're sort of put on there, and the station, the software that runs the station will put up or play random shows. And so you never know during the day who you're going to hear next, which is really a lot of fun in a way. You get to hear all the different shows, and if you listen every day, all day, then you'll hear all the different shows that are on the station. And I do that myself a lot. So, but also then in the evenings, of course, you have my show, replays of my show, and then Troubled Minds Radio at night. So, and I'm really grateful to be part of this group and this be on this station as well. So, and also please make sure anytime I have guests on the show, I always include links to their projects, whatever they're doing. And so please check out those links and help support those other shows as much as you can. So that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all for listening, and I will talk to you all on the next episode of Salcedo Paranormal. Take care.